Today on The Art of Lifing, we are introducing a new series around happiness, and I'm so excited to introduce you to Gillian Mandich. She is Canada's first happiness doctor. So we're going to talk about all things happiness today. In order to really appreciate a high level of happiness, does that mean that you have to be able to experience a very low level of sadness? I know they're not on the same polarity, but does it help you appreciate it more?
Great question. And this is where it becomes a very individual thing. So some people will go through a very difficult time, a very dark time, a very challenging time in their life. And then they'll say, wow, just even my day-to-day seems that much better. And yet there are some people that haven't experienced maybe a really, really dark or low point in their life, and they can still be happy. So just like every one of us is unique, every one of us is going to have a different experience of happiness, and the points are all going to be relative for you. So no, you don't need to have those low, low lows in order to be happy. And if you do, you still can. Every single person has the capacity. And when we recognize that happiness ebbs and flows, and also happiness is expressed differently for different people. Like for example, if you watch a Super Bowl and someone gets a touchdown, they do their end zone dance, they're super happy. And then you can look and someone could be meditating in a cave in India, and they're blissed out and they're meditating. Both happy, both very different expressions of happy. So it isn't just one feeling or one emotion, and it isn't expressed in just one way. So it really is, even though we all kind of have a general idea of what happiness is, the way that it feels for us throughout our life, throughout the day can change, and the way we express it can also change.
I love that you're saying that. And I think, even the fact that you said we need to give ourselves permission to experience different emotions, I think is critical. And over the last couple of weeks, I've been working on different things, and there were a couple of days when I was going to a client meeting and I thought, I just feel really down today. And I didn't kind of really know why. It wasn't one particular thing, but I felt like I really feel, I just kind of feel overall down. But overall in my life, I feel like I'm exactly where I need to be. I feel super grateful for my family and everything that I have going on for me. So it was interesting to experience the duality of those emotions, because I don't think we recognize that all the time. We don't give ourselves permission to be happy overall and maybe just have a bad day, right?
Exactly, because it's kind of that difference of an in the moment thing versus sort of overarching, which when you research happiness becomes problematic. Because if you need to measure happiness, which you can do, there's validated tools that I'll use in my research in order to assess happiness. If you do it one time, you get a snapshot of right now in that moment, how do you feel? And that changes throughout the day. Even if you think about your life, on my way over here today, I got stuck in traffic on the DVP, less happy. Now I'm here with you, more happy. So if you were to measure my happiness when I was on the DVP in traffic versus sitting here right now, they're very different measures. And overall, I would say I'm a fairly happy person, and we all have those moments. So when you measure happiness, the better way is, instead of looking at a snapshot of one time, you look at it over time, because it starts to kind of tell a general picture of what's going on. And then you get a sort of sense of more broad spectrum, as opposed to just looking at one snapshot in the moment.
Right. Awesome. Okay, so I'm going to share one thing just around this idea of sort of pursuing happiness, I guess. I've been in marketing for 23 years, and I always thought to myself, when I was growing up, I saw people around me that went to jobs because it was a job, and they weren't really happy about it. And I thought, I want to wake up every morning and just love going to work and enjoy what I'm doing. And for a really long time, I did that. And I'd do marketing work where I'd be like, yes, and I'd celebrate it, and I felt really good about it. And then I went through this almost turning point where I thought, I just feel like I need to do something more, but what, I didn't know. And I honestly felt so lost in a way. I literally, I'd have birthday cake with candles, and they'll make a wish, and I'm like, please, universe, tell me what I need to do with my life, or I'd be I remember going to Europe, and we'd be putting coins in the fountain and making a wish, and I'm like, just help me find my purpose and let me fulfill it. And I just didn't know. And I felt very lost, but it's interesting because you talk about the emotions of it. I didn't, it's not that I felt sad. I just was feeling very foggy. And what I realized going through that is that it's a process. And when I got the clarity, and it happened slowly, it's not maybe some people have a eureka moment. I didn't. It happened slowly. But today, where I am, I undoubtedly know this is exactly where I need to be. And to me, this is still a journey where I feel like I'm midway through and this is going to evolve every day. And one of the big things that I realized in that process, like you said, look for things that make you happy, is that I needed to learn to embrace this process, because I was so focused on getting to the end goal. I was getting impatient and wondering if it'll ever happen. But as soon as I let that go and I just trusted the process, I felt much more happy. So it was a practice and not something that actually happened to me. It was a big lesson for me around happiness.
It's so true. And I love that you said that, because one of the things, like I think about, we're always told like, be happy, be happy, be happy. But yet, if you look at when we grow up, in school, we learn math, we learn science, we learn geography, chemistry. Nobody teaches us how to be happy. And then we show up as adults and we're like, well, why aren't we happy? Well, we've never been taught. And so what you did there is really amazing, because you started to learn for yourself what makes you happy. And myself, as someone that researches happiness, I can show you research and stuff. And at the end of the day, only you know what makes you happy. Right. And every single one of us, when you're watching, you are your expert. You're the person that knows more than anyone else. And so you check in, you try different things, you look at different things, and you figure out what that is for you, because it's individual, just like all of us.
Oh, I love it. Amazing. Thank you so much, Gillian.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed the content, then please like it and share it with anybody that you think might be interested in this content as well. I would also love it if you could subscribe to my channel. I put out new videos every Tuesday. And last but not least, if you have any comments, I would love to have a conversation with you. Let's do this journey together. Let's master the art of lifing and really do life on purpose.